They've been very careful. I went back and listened. There hasn't been one person, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, anybody who has come out and said, boy, he really looks like our future. He is our future. I've heard this. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback in 2022. Let's get into a main topic here now. You know, I'm seeing a lot of Jalen Hurts. I'm seeing a lot of the organization excited about 2022. Let's throw this out there. Do you have a problem with the do you have a problem with the optics that Jalen's only been given 1 year to prove it? Do you? Xander goes, seems like national media is buttering Eagles up a little too much. That's okay. That'll all come full circle in September. Okay? That'll all come full circle. And by the way, I think the schedule helps them out a lot. Remember what you guys said? Huh? Remember what you said? This football team's going to win 12 to 13 ball games this coming season. Jalen Hurts is going to throw for 4,200 yards. You guys set the bar last week. You guys have set the bar. That wasn't me talking on Friday. That was all of you. 4,200 yards and 13-4. I didn't say it. You did. That's what you're expecting this coming season from your Eagles 2022. 13-4, 4,200 yards, 25 touchdown passes. You said it. We all came to an agreement. But I ask you, the optics. Do you have a problem with not endorsing your quarterback? That's not an endorsement. Hey, he's got this year. That's not showing me any kind of love for my quarterback. That's just saying this. I don't have anybody else to replace you right now with, so the job is yours. You did enough last year for you to be able to have another shot this year. That's not a ringing endorsement. Okay? Strong says this. It's not one season, Silz. This is year 3. How about this? Do we agree, Strong? It'll be more like a year and a half. No, it'll be 2.5 years that he would have been given if he finishes the season this year. Because it would have been last year, the half season before, and then it'd be this year too. It'd be 2.5 years, right? GT, right? Why 1 year? Wait a minute. I haven't heard the Eagle organization or the front office doing this. You know what? I don't see Jalen losing this job. This is going to be Jalen Hurts' job. And I see him being our guy for the next 5 or 6 years. Nobody in the front office at the NovaCare Center has even approached those kind of comments. They've been very careful. I went back and listened. There hasn't been one person, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, anybody who has come out and said, boy, he really looks like our future. He is our future. I've heard this. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback in 2022. That was almost verbatim what Howie Roseman said at the Combines. GT, that's my point. Who said 1 year? Well, why not say he's our quarterback moving forward? Instead of having this out there, he's got another 1-year audition. It reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins. When Cousins was in Washington, where every year he had to show up and prove that he was the guy, and eventually Washington, which they made a mistake, end up moving off of him because they haven't had a quarterback in the building since. Zach says he's only been a starter for one full season. Why are people talking about he's got a new coach having to learn a whole new playbook? Hey, Zach, welcome to football. And Zach, his coaches were Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Nick Sirianni. We're not talking about stiff coaches here. We're talking about the elite coaches in the world. It's not like he was playing ball at Temple. This guy was being coached by Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Doug Peterson, and now Nick Sirianni. You're making it sound like he's not been coached by anybody. Or how about the quarterback room that he had in the wide receiver room he had at Alabama? It's not like he hasn't been around talented players, too. Jalen Hurts has been around the greatest coaches in the world. Different systems? Yes, I agree. It's like learning Portuguese in Japan. Or Japanese, excuse me. Absolutely. They're two different lingos. Two different terminologies. When you go from one team to another, you're right. There is nuances that you have to change. But again, the front office has not endorsed him past 1 year. GT says it reminds me a lot of what Dak went through. You mad, bro? What's up, brother? I'm not saying he hasn't had any coaching. I'm saying he's had to learn new playbooks. Fair, Zach. I'm not saying that he's had bad coaches. Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm not going to dismiss that because there is something to that. And more so to the point, Zach, different play styling rhythms, the way offensive coordinators call games is completely a thing too. Doug Peterson and that coaching staff, the way they called plays versus Nick Sirianni and that coaching staff, the way that Lane Kiffin or the way that Sarkisian, the way they called plays. Just because you have the same playbook doesn't necessarily mean the guy's got the same feel for the game. There is something to that. You're right. Okay? Like a guy on a 3rd and 1 may want a quarterback sneak, but another guy says, I'd rather have it in the hands of my running back. Situational play calling all plays a factor. No matter what the playbook says, it's who's really utilizing the playbook. I get it. You're right. You're right. But for me now, again, I thought about it because there's a lot of goodwill going around now with the Eagles. A lot of people love him. Well, the Eagles don't really love Jalen all that much. If they haven't, in my point, given him a ringing endorsement. Is this fair? Let me see what Zach says. Exactly, Dan. That's what I'm saying. I agree. Zach, you're right. Okay? You're right. But guys, listen and follow me here. It's not a real ringing endorsement, though, is it? How do you guys look at it when it comes to the front office? Do you truly believe they're giving Jalen Hurts the ringing endorsement that he has a chance really of being the face of this franchise for the next 10 years? Do they believe that? See, I'll tell you what, when you watch Josh Allen play up in Buffalo, Buffalo was saying this, I think we have somebody. And even when he was going through his second-year struggles, when I hear the Chargers talking, I hear the Chargers saying, Justin Herbert, man, he has a chance to be in the same line with Phillip Rivers and Dan Fouts. I don't hear them saying this. Boy, I'll tell you. We really haven't had a franchise quarterback in Philadelphia since Donovan McNabb. And I think we have one here in Jalen Hurts. None of that's being said. Chuck has a great take here. Chuck, they don't want to make the same mistake they did with Wentz. Chuck, that's a great take. Chuck, it's a great take. It's a great take. So you think, Chuck, they're pumping the brakes. And Chuck, I think you just hit the topic on the head here. The Eagles they are. The Eagles are looking for improvement. But guys, would you say this? They're looking for more consistency out of Jalen. They're looking for more consistent. They want to see this, right? Maybe this, watch. It doesn't have to be that 4,800-yard passing year. It just has to be this. 9, 10, 11, 12 games. He's getting better passing. He's getting better reading. And he's consistently getting better and better and better and better and better. As long as we see that trajectory going like this, right? They're going to stay on this rail. Am I right? Chuck, that's a great take. Okay? Okay, Craig. As long as they see this, and it's what they don't want to see is like, here, am I right when I say this? Here was Wentz. Wentz was going like this. Then all of a sudden, after the injury and the coaching changes, it just started going like this. And it never leveled off. They were stunned because it was like, watch this, right? The contract gets signed. He's still moving up. He gets hurt in Los Angeles. And then all of a sudden, it just kept going down and down and down. And that consistency never brought it back. The Eagles were praying that he was going to make that swing up, that Josh Allen swing up. It never happened. GT, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. So the game plan is to see him and the team and the players around him continuing to go on this trajectory. Long as and it doesn't have to be like this, right? It just has to be moving in a positive direction. Because here, watch this. If this kid ends up, let's hypothetically do this, 11-6. Let's just say, for whatever reason, injuries, 11-6. They win the East. He's 3,900, 21 touchdowns, 22 touchdowns, something like that. And he's gotten better. And there's a 1,000-yard wideout, maybe 100-catch wideout for the first time in franchise history. The Eagles aren't going to balk off that, are they? Because I'm going to show you something, guys. Next year's NFL draft, I've already got the top 10 done. And I'm going to tell you just the top 10. I'm working on the rest of the draft. And I got the top 10 done. And this coming class is going to have some quarterbacks in it. They're going to have some quarterbacks in it. And Jalen Hurts is being given an opportunity here to keep these names. They got 2 first-rounders next year, almost kind of in the same position they were this year, kind of around the same room. But if you really wanted a quarterback bad enough, you could package up the draft choices and get into the top 10 and get a kid, right? Right? I'm gonna hit on these guys here in a minute. By the way, I want to throw one more thing before we take a first time out here. Any interest in Jarvis Landry? I think he had like 570 yards last year, and he's looking for a home. Any interest in Jarvis Landry? Can you imagine having this? Jarvis Landry, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. Jarvis Landry's not a 1. But Jarvis Landry could be a 2 or a 3. Okay? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jarvis Landry, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. That old line. You add Jarvis Landry. Okay? Is Julio Jones still out there? 1-year deal. Yeah, 1-year deal. Is Julio still out there? That's right, Zach. You put Jarvis in that slot. You line your 2 dudes out wide. How'd you like to go to battle with that every weekend in the NFC East? Okay? And know this. He got cut, so you don't have to pick the contract up that he had in Cleveland. Only 1 ball? Yeah, but you know what you want with that one above all? Make the defense think who's getting it. You're right. 1 above all. There's only 1 football. But if I'm a defensive guy and I'm lined up, who's getting it? You got to keep me guessing who's getting it. What you had this year was maybe Devontae will get it. Now, I've got to do this. Jeez, oh man. You got Landry in the slot. AJ over here can knock me out if I don't have my head on a swivel. Devontae running them routes. And you got Jalen who could take off running if he need be. And you got Miles Sanders, a very effective running back. That might make guys do this. All right. Let's play some zone here. Let's figure them out. Man, you ain't press coveraging those guys. The slot's wide open then. Then your tight end's running down the seam. Dallas Goedert going like this. In an offense like that, Dallas Goedert might have 125 catches. You think about that. David goes, Silz, do you stand for the entire show? I do. Yes, I do. I don't like sitting for shit. Jarvis Landry's an old timer? Dude, man. That offense, man, be the number 1 running attack. Least yards per carry here. Jarvis Landry. I thought about that guy. He's looking for a home. Put him on a 1-year deal. He'll be auditioning for other teams around the league, and it would be a perfect situation because he only wants a 1-year deal. You put him on them, one of those Howie 1-year prove-it-to-me deals, works out for both. Hey, right? OBJ's injured. I don't need that. I need Jalen to have all the tools today, not November. Right, man? I mean, look. What? Who are you defending? Oh, and by the way, then you say this also about Jalen Hurts. Hey, man. This guy had A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jarvis Landry, and Dallas Goedert. He couldn't get it done. Nothing on us, man. Congratulations. We gave you 2.5 years to be the starter here. Just didn't work out. We think you're going to be a star quarterback somewhere. It's just not what we're looking for. No disrespect, but we're moving on and we're going to go into the draft and get a quarterback. I don't think anybody would be upset with that comment. And God forbid he does pan out. Nobody wants to go backwards again. Hey, we're all rooting for the kid to win. Anybody who thinks that is stupid because I'm not sitting here open for Jalen Hurts to fail. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Got a great chance to do something here. Hey, don't sit back on your ass taking victory laps if you're Howie going around doing radio shows and coach calling in. You got some work to do, dude. You need a CB2. And to me, I wouldn't mind having another veteran wideout in the building. The more guys that you can get in the building helping that kid out, there's no crime in that. And he's not going to cost you a boatload of money. Maniac, what up, brother? Philip, hey, Silz. What's your take on the 6'9" tight end we signed in the former center from Penn State? You know, Philip, these undrafted kids that end up getting signed, you end up finding really some fine players. Most of the time you're finding depth. Very seldom do you find a guy that's going to come in and make an impact, but it happens. Guys fall through the cracks all the time. The thing that I love about anything from Penn State, he's well coached. Most of those kids are well coached and well disciplined. So that means he's going to bring a formula to the building. And he's going to be a somewhat pro stepping into the building. Always remember something, guys. When you're signing players, you want them to have the best coaching on the planet. That's why Josh Allen was so hard to dissect. Josh Allen was at Wyoming. Same thing with Carson Wentz. North Dakota State. What kind of coaching are you getting there? You know what's being said now about Trey Lance in San Francisco? He's not ready. Well, welcome to the big leagues, kid. Carson Wentz was kind of ready. The reason Carson Wentz looked better than Trey Lance was because he played more ball because there wasn't COVID-19 out there. Trey Lance got hosed by that and has had limited football, but he's also had limited coaching. Limited coaching. That's why you always sign guys from great programs because the best coaches in the country are there. Philip, I'd like to have that guy in the red zone. Jarvis Landry, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. Boy, my offense looks better than Dallas already. Remember, that's the team you got to beat. That's the team you got to beat. You know, I did a way too soon top 10 2023 mock draft. I went and started looking at it. I didn't put the teams here because how would I know where they finish? I don't know. People are talking Lions and Jags and Falcons and all that in the top 10. Probably so, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put my top 10 players, and I'm going to put them in this respected order. And I'm going to do that here in a second. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, proud sponsors of the National Football Show and Big Silz is Morgan & Morgan. This is where the fee is free. And you know what this means? If you're hurt or injured on the job, know this. Finding an attorney is one of the most important things you could possibly do for you and your family when it comes to getting the fair compensation. For the people is not just a slogan. It is who they are. It is what they do. Past 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has recovered $13.5 billion for their clients, making sure that you guys get the fair compensation. And remember something else. Size matters. They're the biggest law firm when it comes to personal injury in the United States, which means they will not be intimidated and they will get you your fair compensation. With over 800 attorneys and offices in Philadelphia, New York, Florida, all across the country, the army of attorneys that Morgan & Morgan has for you are going to do battle for you, making sure you get that fair compensation. The call is free, 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The consultation is free, 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor. Tell them Big Silz sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.